Okay, we are live. All
Hi.
right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the final Immortals After Dark read along live show. I'm here with what Helen reads, of course, because she has stuck with me throughout this entire read along, which is great because I was just telling her that I have kind of a relief that we're at the end here. It's been a big commitment of doing this for a year. So thank you, Helen, again for sticking with me because otherwise I'd be just here by myself talking and that's not great.
No, well, I mean, it was a hard slog towards the end, but I'm glad I
Yeah.
did it. I don't think I would have finished this series this quickly. It would probably
Hmm.
drag on for years, to be honest. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
glad
probably would have fallen off
I
in
did
certain
it.
books where I'd be like, oh, okay, that was okay, like, and then like never, like it's already taken me forever just with regular series, that are
Mm.
smaller. Like I bounce between so many series. I feel like I would have definitely like fallen off probably. So it's nice. It kind of pushed me to keep going. So I'm happy that I did it, but it was
Yes.
a lot.
Same.
It's a long series, a lot of commitment for everybody to stick to. So anybody that's watching this back later, feel free to give us a comment, anything like that. I know we're pretty close to the holidays here, and I don't know how many people are even sticking with this read along because it's a long one. But if you're watching this back later, thanks for tuning in. And today we're actually just going to be talking about our final book, which is Shadow's Heart, which is back to like the Dacians and all of that. Um, so do you want to talk about anything before we just dive into the book?
No, I don't think so. I think let's
Okay.
dive in and then we can wrap up at the end of our overall
Yeah.
thoughts.
So this will be kind of quick because I don't know about Helen, but I don't have a ton to say about this one. I thought it was just pretty okay. Um, I kind of feel like I'm not the Dacian fan. like maybe it's just not. I did like so I ended up rating this 4 stars. I think it was good. It had a lot of good, interesting parts to it. There were some interesting characters, but I just wasn't totally like swept away as in like some of the
Mhm.
previous ones. And I could feel some of the people's maybe frustrations of us still not getting to Fury and now we're doing this, couple and we're still teasing these things and we don't know when Cressley Cole's actually going to get to these books. So I could see, some of the lower ratings for like that
Mhm.
frustration too. Um, but what did you rate it, Helen?
I was the same. I rated it 4 stars, and I
Mm-hmm.
thought it was like if it was sort of ranks, it was sort of like the lower end of the 4 stars.
Yeah.
Um, and I took some time to think about why that was for this particular book. But I was really restless reading it. Like the first 70%, maybe I was just quite restless. I was really easily
Yeah.
distracted. Like if my phone pinged or something, I would go to my phone and I just easily distracted away from this book. And when
Mm-hmm.
I reflected on it, I think it's a repetition. It felt very similar
Yes.
to other books, where the concept of this one is that these two characters are stuck in this like hell dimension and they got to work together to get through it in a series of
Mm-hmm.
trials. And and I felt like we'd seen that in a lot of books, and it's the same sort of formula where okay, they start off hating each other, and eventually they're going to learn to trust each other, and then eventually like each other. And I just thought it was very repetitious, and I didn't feel like we got anything new with this one.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think we'll more see that too when we are doing them back to back,
Mm-hmm.
through the months, through the year. So it was like, it just felt kind of, I don't want to say she just like phoned one in, but it was kind of like she didn't want to, I feel like she has a lot of pressure to get to the stories that
Mm-hmm.
like we want to get her to. And so she just kind of did this. And it was like, honestly, I felt like it could have been another Dacian like novella instead
Mm-hmm.
of this like full length book.
Mm-hmm.
I mean and my thing is that some of the best parts of it were like Lothair and Kristoff. And so that takes away from like the couple to
Yeah.
me when that's used as like keeping us and it does feel a little fan service, but we don't care because we still love Lothair and wanting Kristoff and Fury's thing to happen.
Yeah.
So it's teasing that throughout the whole book. But then it's like, well, then am I really even invested in this couple really, when I'm more invested, like, or having a good time, like, oh, when are we gonna get back to Lothair and Kristoff?
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's how I felt as well. And I think similar to some of the other books as well, it kind of gets really interesting towards the end, right? It feels like it picks up pace. There's a lot
yeah,
going on. It gets quite exciting towards the end as we're kind of building up to the ending of the book. But yeah, like I said, overall, I was just like really kind of like I could have left it at any point and not really felt like I needed to go back to it. And
like,
only
I
because
feel
it's
like
the
if I
last
was
book.
physically reading it, like, I think you physically read it, right?
Yeah.
I think I would have had even more trouble with it because it was losing my focus, and I was kind of like zoning out in parts where I'm like, wait, I don't even remember what just happened. I felt like I wasn't really like paying as much attention as like the other ones. So I mean, honestly, it could be like a 3.54, it's like the lower 4, I think, because I did like a lot of parts of it though. The heroine like kind of grew on me, and I just wasn't totally into Silt, like, I guess. I thought he was an interesting character. I liked that we were doing like a sorcerer and all that kind of stuff. But I felt like their like whole journey kind of like dragged on and on. And then I was like, oh wait, how'd they get to this location with that one chick that was like the vice, like,
So
I was, so there was just a lot. I don't know. It's hard to like completely say like why it just didn't totally hit for me, because I do think it had some good moments to it. It just, I don't know. I think it's also, we're like, okay, let's get to the Fury storyline now. Like, how many books, how long have we been hearing about Fury since like book 1? Let's get to it. But I did really like a lot of the stuff that was going on with Kristoff and Lothair. Like, that was entertaining, but it felt like also she was leaning on that to make the story more entertaining, because the couple just didn't really have enough for me. So, and it felt very like physical, which a lot of them are, that physical connection. But I don't know. I did like some of Silt's things, but I don't know how I feel about a guy that was like addicted to opium, and like living in this fog, and that was kind of weird. I'm like,
and also it's kind of like he's been addicted for like centuries, right? And then just because he's like, I think it was like he gets burnt in some lava or something, and then suddenly it's all burnt away and he's not addicted anymore. And it seemed a bit too easy to get over that kind of addiction as well.
Yeah. And I thought like the stuff at the end too with like was wrapped up really quickly, like, and like with the vice chick and all that stuff that went down when she really kind of screwed them over, and it was just kind of like, so I don't know, it felt like it dragged a lot in the middle, and then at the end it really picked up, like, but not in a good, like, as much of a way, like where it did kind of remind me of the one, what was it called, where it's the Beauty and the Beast kind of retelling, the one that you loved, that was your favorite. It reminded me of that, where they're kind of in this demon, like hell dimension type of feeling, but it wasn't as good. And there wasn't as much of a, like, as the same good connection. And then that one, the heroine's like journey was just really amazing. And so there was just so much more to that one than there was to this one. And I just kind of thinking, I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'm just not into the Dacians because I didn't like Mauricio or whatever, and then Caspian and all that storyline. So I don't know. Maybe it just doesn't.
I don't know. It felt like, I feel like if it was a TV show, it would be just a filler episode, like you say. We didn't progress with the story. Okay, we get the bit of Lothair and Kristoff, but the rest of it was kind of felt like a bit just like filler. Like they're these characters that, do we really care about them? I feel like at this stage we're at 21 books. At this stage, it's like, do we need any more side characters that we don't really care about? let's get to
And
the
it's
one.
like she was really getting into the Morior, and then like, where's the
Yes.
Morior? Like, I thought we were gonna have more, like that was the next phase, that we were gonna be getting more of the Morior. I mean, we do get that at the very end, but that was like another like typical where we have Nyx doing things behind the scenes, and at the end, you know, that character. But like I was like, I wanted more of that. Like I felt like we were kind of taking a step back, and where we were previously like going forward, and this and things were escalating in the storyline, and I felt like this was just kind of felt like a step backwards. I'm like, well, what are we doing with this storyline? It feels repeated, like you said, and it's not driving the plot that we've been kind of excited by in like the last few books. I kind of feel like things really amped up in Sweet Ruin. Like that was my favorite. And it was like things were finally like happening. And then it just kind of went, oh, like back down of like, we're not doing that now. So.
Yeah. The interesting bit, the bit I kind of thought was interesting was around this whole, you know, because it's always been leaning towards this, you make a vow to the law. And then one of his powers was that he could circumvent that somehow. And I thought that was kind of interesting because obviously this whole time, like, oh, don't vow to the law. That's like, you know, that's like binding. And he's like got a way that he can maybe go around that. And I thought that was one interesting like aspect to his powers and stuff.
Which I thought that was interesting. And then I'm like, oh, and then that chick like stole the power or whatever. So then he went, and I was like, oh, okay. Like I kind of was just like, oh, okay. So now we're gonna have the typical thing at the third act here because she stole the power. But I did like some of the parts where he was like, she was kind of like waking him up, and he just wanted to stay there and being like, you know, with his vices and things. And she was like, no, like, and she wasn't going to be fully sexual with him if it wasn't going to be, you know, but I feel like Cressley did that with previous characters, like in Sweet Ruin, that's kind of how she was. So I just felt like this was kind of a lot of repeats. So it wasn't giving me anything new. That's the thing. I did really love getting more Lothair. He's always so entertaining, and getting more Kristoff because I want to know more about him and how he, you know, and this poor guy is just getting totally screwed over, just wants to be with his mate, and he's got to deal with Lothair, and Lothair's like, oh, you better keep me alive, or like, you know.
Which
so Lothair's stuff was really funny.
Which we know is crazy because Lothair doesn't even know where she is. So
yeah, it's just so messed up, you know. But I don't know, but how did you feel about the end where like Kristoff bit Lothair? I thought that was pretty cool. Like, but also I was like, oh crap, now he's gonna have like red eyes when Fury like hates like the vampires that are like feeding, you know, like he wasn't one of those. So I was like, did Lothair mess with him on purpose, or did that actually like surprise Lothair? You know, I just don't know. I'm like,
yeah, and this is the thing, you don't know, do you, with Lothair, because it could be part of a big master plan that he did it deliberately, or he was totally surprised and Kristoff has just gone a bit crazy. I mean, would his eyes turn? I mean, their eyes don't
because it's like,
right?
I think they would because of feeding off of another, maybe not if it's another vampire, but I think it does. And then, but now he's gonna get like all of theirs like memories. So and I think I think I was reading stuff about this book, like with a chat group, and somebody had said that in one of the previous books, Nyx had said something like about Kristoff being able to like have the same knowledge. She was like hinting at what this was going to be, and I think it's from Kristoff like actually biting him to like get the info, which, so I mean, it's like it leads you to go, okay, is the next book going to be finally Kristoff and Fury, or is she going to do some random side characters, or is it going to be this dragon storyline, you know, which that I got to ask you, how did you feel about what Nyx did at the end of the book?
I mean, again, the whole way through, it's kind of like we think she's a goodie, right? So it's kind of like we want to be on Nyx's side, but she's she's a bit vicious. She's
Yeah, I
really
was
vicious.
so mad. I'm like, I love that dragon. And I was like,
Yes.
and I'm like, don't mess with dragons. Like,
Dragons.
I'm like, don't mess with him. And I was just like, okay, I get what she's doing, kind of, but you don't, because you never know what Nyx's like master plan is. But
Yeah, but do we even get a hint? Because obviously, because at one point in the book, she comes in with the heart and she brings
yeah,
it to Lothair, right? And she's kind of like, don't let me misplace that because that's really important. We need that.
yeah,
And then we're not really sure what it's for. But in a previous book, we knew that he didn't want he was he's a shapeshifter, right? And he doesn't
yeah.
want to be in his human form. But by
Mm-hmm.
taking the heart, they're going to force him to be in the human form. So I
Yeah.
guess we're going to learn why he doesn't want to be in a human form.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if it's gonna be his romance next, where, because it's like he had been in his dragon form for like so long,
Wrong.
and then now he's forced out of it. And I think it's also gonna force like Orion and like the other Morior to like get in there. So I don't know. I was pissed though. I'm like, don't mess with him. I'm like, dang it, Nyx. Like, but she's crazy.
She's
We'll see
vicious.
what
She's
she's up to.
so vicious. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, what is she doing?
Her plans, the things that she's seeing. So I don't know. Like, I have no idea how long is it going to be till Cressley Cole writes the next book, with hearing things about her doing the other stuff. I don't know. And so you're kind of like, this is why I kind of just felt like very lukewarm about this, because I'm like, did we really need this book? I don't know. It
But
could have
clearly,
been a novella for me or something if she
yeah,
wanted to do like a side thing, and then like let's get to like the Morior and like the main storyline again.
yeah. I mean, I agree. It could have easily been a novella because a lot of it was just
Yeah,
dragged. It could have been sections could have been taken out, definitely. I mean, I feel like Cressley Cole's had some sort of creative block, right? So she struggled in the
yeah,
last couple of years. And I really like the novella that we read last month, The Witch Queen of Halloween. I really like
yeah.
that.
I did really like that one.
But again, a side thing, but still really, really well
Mm-hmm.
done. And like you said, I don't know, she must be under a massive amount of pressure, right? And
Yeah,
then everybody wants a Fury story, so she's got to deliver on that. It can't be lukewarm, like, oh, we've waited all this time for this story and it wasn't very good.
yeah,
So maybe there's just too much pressure on her, which is why she's gone, you know what, I just can't
yeah. Like you can't force
deliver
it.
it.
She can't like force
No.
the story. So
So,
it's kind of like we're waiting. So we'll see how long it takes to get to the next book. I mean, it can't be longer than I've been waiting for George R. R. Martin to come out with the next Game of Thrones book, which is never going to happen. Like, I swear, I'm like, ugh. And then every project I hear him do, I'm like, stop joining like TV productions or like prequel to this or prequel. Like, I was like, just get the next book out. And it's funny because when you watch interviews with him, he'll be like, he looks so over the question about when that book's going to come out. And so I'm just like, oh, yeah, he's not. And I'm sure he's under pressure too because of his fan base and
exactly.
how long they've been waiting. And also how crazy us fans revolted at the final season of Game of Thrones. So I don't know. He's got a lot to work on. So hopefully hers will come out before that happens. But
Who knows? We'll wait and see. If we ever do though, we'll do another live show, right?
yeah, yes,
It'll be 5
yeah,
years
we'll have
from
to do
now.
one.
We'll both be retired and in our nursing homes. And
I know. Oh my god. Well, do you have anything else you want to say? I mean, like, we're like wrapping up this book in like 20 minutes, but that's fine.
to be honest, no, because even I only read it last week and it's pretty
Yeah.
forgettable, right? It's like
Like, I just finished it a couple of days ago, and it's still kind of like I had to like look stuff up online. I'm like, wait, I kind of need a summary of things because I kind of was just like, it was okay. Like,
yeah.
You
I mean,
know?
I guess the only other thing I'd say is it felt, in addition to everything we've already said, it also felt a little bit unsatisfying that they end up not free from the jailers, and so there's this still thing hanging over their head that the jailers are still technically after them, right? So
Yeah.
they've got their HEA, but they're kind of still in,
Hiding in like his like place
yeah,
that he has, and like,
exactly. And then I'm just like, and I guess they can trace to
yeah.
Dacia or whatever, but I'm just like, I don't know. Again, it just felt very unsatisfying.
Yeah. I felt like way more interested in the ending scene with Nyx and then
Mm,
like the Lothair
of course.
scenes than I did with them. So, you know, that like when you think about that, you're like, oh, those were my enjoyable parts of the book, like not really the main couple. So
Yeah,
that's kind of, that's not a good sign. I mean, it's
no.
great that we still love these characters that she's created, and she created such great characters that we are like still invested in them and still want to see them. But you got to have like a great connection
Mhm,
between the couple that we're reading about for us to
mhm.
be invested in the story, you know?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. So I guess, I think it's like a low 4-star for
Yeah,
me, but
same.
I didn't hate it or didn't have horrible things about it. I was just kind of, meh about it. So, but sad to end the read along on a meh.
Yeah, I know.
but but I don't know. I'm like, honestly, I'm just like, okay, I did it.
Yeah,
We completed this goal. We
we
did this
did.
read along, and so I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
I have no idea what 2026 things I'm going to do, but I'm not doing a year long read along. That's for sure. That's
Well, we'll save that for another year. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. One day, sometime
We'll
we'll
have
come
a
up with
break.
something. I know. Well, this is really quick. I feel bad, but like before we go, how about what were your overall thoughts on Immortals After Dark, your favorites or anything like that?
So overall, the majority of these books have been 4-star reads for me.
Yeah.
So most of them have been 4 stars. So I think individually each book is okay. Collectively, though, I still feel this is a 5-star series just because of the world building, the
Mm-hmm.
characters, and you feel really invested in the story overall, right? So I feel like
Yeah.
individually, like I guess it's the flavour of what we've been talking about today. Individually, the books, some of them have dragged a little bit, some of them I've felt a bit restless, some of them the characters I've not been so invested in. But it's the overall storytelling and all of it feels
Mm-hmm.
like a family, right? It feels like a comfortable place to kind of go. Like you know how the world works and you know who all the characters are, and so it feels comforting to read in that sense. So overall, I've really enjoyed it, but I wouldn't say too many of them blew me away. I think I had, I had. I'm just looking now. I had 2 3.5 stars. Most of them were 4 stars, and then I had 4 4.5 stars, and only one 5-star, which was Wicked Abyss, which was my favorite
Yeah.
overall.
Yeah, I had like a few 5 stars. I don't remember because I didn't put them all up here. But I had my one standout that was Sweet Ruin. Like that
Mhm.
was my 6-star. Like I loved it. And then Lothair was like another one of my favorites. But I also loved I'm trying to remember. Was that Pleasures of a Dark Prince? Oh no. See, I'm like all over. I'm like, wait, these names are too similar where I'll be like, wait, which one was it again? Yeah, because I had quite a few like 5-star ones. Um, this one, shoot. Oh yeah, because I liked a lot of the darker ones when they got like dark and tortured.
Yeah,
Those
yeah,
were the
yeah.
ones that
Because
ended up being my favorites. So
that's
like
right.
Dreams of a Dark Warrior was one.
You like McGrieve, didn't you?
Yeah, I loved McGreeve,
McGrieve.
but and then I felt like sad about Monroe. I was like, oh,
Mhm.
that one didn't really hit me the same. But Sweet Ruin, I think, obviously with it being the 6 stars, like my favorite. I'm trying to think of, I think it might be Kiss of a Demon King. I think that might have been one of my first 5 stars, or it was like my new favorite because I loved Sabine. I loved how she was like the evil, like sorceress chick, and I loved that one. So I did have, I think, quite a few 5 stars, but a lot of 4 stars, some 3.5, some 3s. And like, I didn't like the Caspian guy and that whole one.
That definitely was the worst one.
Yeah.
My 3.5 stars was that one, which was Shadow Seduction.
Yeah. So the first Shadow one was the one I hated, but you actually really enjoyed.
I really liked Shadow's Claim, yeah.
Where I was like, she was reminding me of Scarlett O'Hara from friggin' Gone with the Wind, and I was like, I can't do it. You loving the guy that's not into you, like, no. So yeah, I don't know. I think you're right. Like, I think all around it's like a 5-star series because of the world building. And I think with these fans that like really hype this up, I mean, they've been sticking with this for how many years, so I think it's a really beloved series. I really liked listening to like that podcast. What was it called? Like the Fated Mates podcast too. I listened to some of theirs after I read them, and they're like so passionate about these books. It's Sarah McLean and like this other woman, I don't know her name, but they like did a whole readathon of this, or like a read along. And so it was interesting to hear like them talk about the books too. Yeah, so I'm happy like I finally got to this because I've been watching, booktubers like Jen has talked about this for years. I've seen Justin talk about it. All these booktubers talk about it. I'm like, I've never even read one of these books. And I love paranormal, so I was like, I need to finally get into this. And that's kind of like why I decided to do this read along, because I was like, I wanted to do it the year before, but I was like, oh, I have like no subscribers. I mean, I still don't have a lot of subscribers, but I was like, oh, who cares? Like, I'm just going to do it. Because that was the stress of like trying to plan it. I was like, how am I going to ask other people to do this with me when it was for a year? I was like, ooh, like I can't really ask people to do that. So I was just going to have to like play it by ear. So luckily I had you stick with me with this because, I don't know, like it would have been interesting, but yeah, so I'm glad I did it, and I'm glad you joined me, and now I'm going to continue it like with each book that comes out. I hope we get, I can't wait to get to Nyx, but I know that's going to probably be the last book would be Nyx. So I think we have a long time to wait.
I think we do. Yeah, I think we just got to now settle in with everyone else. Wait it out.
What are you currently reading right now?
So I'm actually between books, but I'm just about to start His Pretty Little Bird and Nikki Harris.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I was so excited you're reading that. I love that series.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, after you told me to read the first 2 books, obviously I was a Matt Butcher fangirl. I loved him. And then I really wanted to continue with the series. And I knew I was going to love it, but I was kind of waiting. Like sometimes, like I just wanted to savor it. I didn't want to rush and read them. I knew I was going to love them, so I wanted to savor it. And then I pulled His Pretty Little Bird in from my TBR jar, and I was like, but I feel like I want to read them in order. So I knew I needed to read Bronson next. So I thought, well, I'm going to read Bronson. So this week I read Her Way, and I love Bronson as well. Yeah. And now I'm ready to read Clay's book. So, but there's 3, right? There's like it's his book of duet, and then she's got a 3rd one next month. I saw.
So it's His Pretty Little Burden, and then His Pretty Little Queen. And I think I gave one of these 6 stars because I think probably the second one because I love the combination of like both of them. And then there's one more, but I don't have that book. I think one more like main book, but I think I gave that 6 stars too. But I'm like a Nikki Harris like stan. So like, and that was, oh shoot, what is that one? because
Little Air, or is that the one that's coming out? Because I
that's
saw one.
the that's like the novella one.
Okay.
Let me find this. Hold on. Kids of the District. Okay, so the next one is Their Broken Legend. And then it's His Perfect Little Heirs. And then she's still doing like another like novella, I think, or something.
I saw that there was one coming out in January, and I was like, oh my God, is this not finished? I don't like.
It's like she's like knows we love this, so she keeps giving us little like tidbits. But this one is let me see if I explain Xander, and he's like a fighter, and it was like, you know, he was like the fighter boxer, and so I really liked that. And there's some really good stuff with Max in this, so like that's what made me like, you know, I love Max is like my favorite.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people love Clay because they like the bigger like age gap and like, you know, kind of daddy kind of stuff. But like I love Max Butcher.
I mean, Max is gonna. I mean, I really like Bronson. I did really like Bronson, but Max definitely still holds the crown. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be tough to beat Max, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Like I just love him so much. Like so yeah, so Their Broken Legend was really good too. Like I cried. Like I'm like, I don't know how she gets me to cry like for like mafia romance, but
she does it.
She did it. But I don't know. Maybe it's just I get emotional for some of her books or whatever. Did you like the most recent one in the you gave it, was it 4.5 stars for the post-apocalyptic one?
Born for Marble. Yeah. I did really like it, but I didn't enjoy it. It was a pretty traumatic book, right?
I was like, I was reading it and I go, this is hard. Like in the beginning too, especially when you have to watch, like read what she goes through. I was like, oh God, I thought we already knew about it, so I wasn't going to have to like read it on page. And so I was like, okay, this is a depressing, but I thought once it got past like that 40-50%, I was like, okay, now I'm enjoying it. And so I did end up giving it 5 stars because I actually liked it better than the second one. The second one I didn't love as much.
See, second one was my favorite.
I know.
Second one was my favorite. It's weird, isn't it? Like what we like. But yeah, the second one was my favorite.
I know, and I actually did a reread of the second one, like because I wanted to listen to the audiobook. And I got it like on Libby. And so I did a listen to it and I was like, oh, I appreciated it like a lot more the second time around, I think. I really wanted to get the audiobook of this one because it's going to have, it has Shane East narrating. And I was like, please I want the ALC to this. But yeah, I'll probably listen to that again once it, like, I'll probably check and hopefully it comes on Libby and I can listen to that.
Yeah.
I actually just was listening to, what is it? Shield of Sparrows or whatever, the Devney Perry fantasy. And I've actually never read Devney Perry, so it's not like I have never read her contemporaries.
No, I haven't, no.
But it was really long. I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to, because I did not like, oh God, I just lost. I'm like, my brain is like Fourth Wing. I didn't like Fourth Wing, and I felt like that read very contemporary and like very young and immature and like very contemporary, where I didn't like that at all. But I liked this one, even though this reads very contemporary. Like, I mean, when like a character's saying F fuck you, you're like these kind of dialogue in like a fantasy, you're kind of like I don't know, but I mean, I did enjoy the world building, and there's cool monsters and all that kind of stuff. So I enjoyed it, but like it was way too long. Like, and it leaves on a cliffhanger. You know, it's going to continue a series. I was like, it did not. Like, I think it was like 600 something pages. I'm like, it did not need to be this long. Like, there were certain parts. So, and I was like, my Libby thing, I had like 2 days left. So I was like, oh my God, like I need to like finish this. So I was listening to it like the entire day yesterday because I had like another ALC I need to get to. I'm listening to Irresistibly Wicked by Melissa Foster. And I didn't realize this is like I think the 7th in a series, but it's not like ruining it for me. But I just read her recently. I think I read her for the first time this year. And I really loved the book. And I'm like, oh, I need to read more from her. Because she does really good like found family and stuff.
Mhm.
So there's a lot in this where you could tell it's this very big found family. And I'm like, I don't even know any of these characters, but I'm still really enjoying it. So and then I don't know what I want to read. I've been having issues. Like I read Seraph by Lily Mayne. I don't know if you've read that Monstrous series.
I've read the first 4 books, I think. So I've
Mm-hmm.
still got some to do. Yeah.
Like it took me all week to read it. And it wasn't the book's fault. It's like I'm just not focusing. I feel like I haven't like been able to focus like physically reading. I'm getting distracted and like work's been crazy. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, I felt really bad. I still gave it 5 stars. That one was more difficult though, because Seraph is like the most monstrous, most monster out of all of them. And you're like, how is this gonna work? I had to look up like pictures of what looked like the fan art. And I was like, oh, like so that and so then I was gonna go to another Kate C. Wells. I don't know if you read her like Rejected Mate series that she
I
does.
haven't. No.
I was gonna read like the next one because I've been behind in that. And I was like having a hard time enjoying the heroine because she's got so much anxiety where her wolf is scared of everything and she thinks she's going to be attacked just taking a shower. And I'm just like, I don't know if I really want to read this right now. I was like, I don't know. Sometimes you just have to put the book aside. I'm like, I don't think it's the right time for that one. So.
Did you read Blackthorn by J.T. Geisinger?
No, I haven't. I haven't read J.T. Geisinger like since what's that series? This
Queens
one.
and Monsters.
Yeah, this one. I haven't like because I never read Pen Pal. I did read her like older books. I tried reading like The Beautifully Cruel, and I didn't really like those as much as these ones. But how did you like it? Did you get to it yet?
So again, that was one that I finished this month. I listened to it on audiobook because in the UK it wasn't available on KU and it's $10.99 as an ebook.
That's crazy.
I'm not paying $10.99 for a JT.
I'm just gonna buy the physical book. If I don't get how they have ebooks.
That's what I thought. I'd buy the physical book, but then it's only available in hardback at the moment. And I'm like, I'm just gonna use the credit and listen to it as an audiobook. So I waited till this month when I had a credit. And it was really well. I mean, I just love how she writes and I love the banter. And it was Connor Craze and Tara Langella who did the audiobook. And I love Tara's voice. Her voice is so smoky. I just love it. She narrated the 4th book in Queens and Monsters, like super good.
Oh, okay.
And it was so well done, but so unsatisfying at the end. Because it's supposed to be this gothic romance.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel like a romance. It was very like almost like romantic suspense. There was a lot going on. It was a bit of a mystery and it was very spooky and had all these gothic vibes. And then there was a twist at the end. And then I was just like, seriously? Like, really, are we going to go here? And I'm just like, I was so unsatisfied by the ending.
Yeah. That's so disappointing, you know? Like, it's just like I picked up Nocticadia or whatever from Carrie Lake, and I read her Infernium, like the Nightshade and Infernium duet last year. Because Becky from Bex Reads recommended that for me for my 12 rec, and I had never read Carrie Lake, and it was so good. Like it blew me away. And this one was like teacher student gothic, where it's like kind of like a parasite inside people, and so it was very gothic. It gives you all the vibes. But I was just kind of like unsatisfied with the romance. And then it like literally took forever. And then like it was super long. Carrie like writes longer books, you know, so it was over 600 pages. But it was like, and then at the end, it was just like wrapped up everything super quickly. And I'm like, okay, well, why did you take all this other page count to like barely do anything? And then we're wrapping up things like, so I don't know. I know a lot of people loved it, but it wasn't as good to me as I thought her like Nightshade one was so good. So I don't know. I still want to keep reading more Carrie Lake because I like her writing style. I like the gothic vibes that she has. I think they're really cool, but I don't know. I was just kind of like, some of these authors are just writing way too long of books that like they don't need to be this long. And
Yeah. The thing is, you can't tell these days, right? Because
yeah.
like just as an example, Jack O'Cole, if you look at
Mm-hmm.
the page count on Amazon, it's like 600 pages. But there's
Yeah.
no way his book is 600 pages. It doesn't take me long to read them at all. And I
No.
just think it's spacing, right? And I think the way they
Mm-hmm.
pay you, so, some of these writers now are really padding them out. Whereas you read some
Yeah.
other books and it says 400 pages and it takes forever. It's like their Bible pages or something with
Yeah.
microscopic font. And you're just like, that is not 400 pages either. That's way longer than that. So I
Yeah.
think sometimes you can't tell with page count, really. I mean,
Yeah, because it's like, well, and then you're like, okay, so are you dragging this out because you get paid more
yeah,
for page count on KU? Because then it's like, that's kind of like pointless. Like just do, or when they'll like drag something out into like a trilogy that could have been a
yeah,
duology. I'm
yeah,
like, I loved it when I read like an actual duet that like, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. We didn't have to have the filler middle book that's like really just dragging out the
yeah,
story. So
yeah.
yeah. Um yeah, so now I got to figure out my goals for 2026 and all of that. Got to start thinking that I haven't done any of the favorites of the year either. I was just going to do them in January because I'm like, I don't have time to do
Well,
those yet.
today I cut off my reading because my target for the year was 180 books and I done 180 books on Goodreads.
Yeah.
So I cut off my reading. I did my December wrap up today. I do a Q4 wrap up then, and so next weekend I'll be recording then my end of year.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do top 10 non-mafia and then a top 10 mafia.
Oh, that's good.
But
yeah, I was like, I have to go through like my spreadsheet and go through this stuff because I was like, oh, I don't think I had as many 6 stars as I had in the previous year. So I'm like, I could probably, because sometimes it was like almost like 10 6 stars. And then I would be like, oh, well, I still want to talk about some of these really good 5-star books. So I'm like, I might just have an easier top 10. But I wanted to do like a top 10, like my dark romance, historical, because my goal every year is to read more historical romance. And that's, so I like put a bunch on my TBR this month that I haven't even got to. So,
I think it's nice if you can break it down by genre because people will search for those. Like if they're into those types of books, I'll search for them. And you read like twice as much as I do, maybe even 3 times as much as I do.
It's because I listen to a
You've
lot
got
of
a bigger pool,
audiobooks.
right? I mean, if I only did 180 books, if I did top 10 of this and top 10 of that, I'd be like, well, that's 50% of all the books I read.
Well, and that's what and I'm pretty easy with like giving 5 stars. If I love a book, I'm going to give it 5 stars. So that's why I wanted to do the 6-star thing that Jen does, because I was like, how am I going to like
differentiate?
Differentiate like my tops. Just popping in to say hello. Happy Christmas. Great job. Thank you. Thanks for dropping by. I know it was a long read along. So we appreciate you guys for stopping by. Hope you have a Merry Christmas. I know we were talking about it. I only have to get a couple things because I get my niece and nephew, and like that's basic. We don't really give to any of the adults. And then my son's 22, so he just wants money, like that's, and it's kind of sad because now the kids are getting older, so it's like, oh, a gift card to like a gaming thing and like a gift card. Like, I'm like, oh, I feel like it's just it's not as fun. It's not as fun with opening gifts anymore, like when the kids get older, but it'll still be fun. I'm excited for the holiday.
Yeah, definitely. Do you get much time off work?
Not really, because I took I'm a supervisor and then I have a team lead. She took like the Christmas and like first week of January off, so I really have to be there. So that's why I took Thanksgiving off, because I was like, I need a break before the end of the year. And so we get like, we get off early on Christmas Eve, and then like, because I work in like office environment, so we get paid holiday. So the only unfortunate thing is you do have to come in the day after Christmas, and so that's kind of like, but it'll be slow. It'll just be chill. I'll probably just be reading because I'm sure it'll be really slow. Did you take time off?
No, I never do over Christmas, to be honest, because everyone else is off. Literally everyone else is off. So there's no meetings. I won't get any emails. So a bit like you, it's kind of a really good time to just kind of like take things down, prepare for the new year, but also I can take it a little bit easier as well. So that'll be good. But I work from home, so because although I'm live in the UK, the company I work for is a German-based company, so I work from home and then I travel to Germany once a month for a week. So
oh wow.
So I'm at home unless I'm in Germany, and then that's that.
That's nice. I get to work from home like one day a week. That's like my day. Obviously they say, oh, if something comes up, but I have to like be in the office for like the team and stuff. But it's been so nice just even having that one day. I'm like, I love just like rolling out of bed, making my coffee, sitting at the desk at home. I'm like, oh, this is nice, because I live further away. Like I kind of live out in the mountains where I live, and so it's like a 40-minute drive to work every day. And so like just not having to pay that gas is nice, and not having to do the commute because I have bad road rage. So I'm like, just not having to be on the road every day, would deal with the traffic. I'm like, oh, that'd be nice. So, I mean, it was pretty cool with our job. Like when COVID happened, like everybody got to go home, but where I live, I didn't have high-speed internet. I just now got it because I got Starlink, because like I have to use like Verizon, and it's not fast enough to do like that type of stuff. So yeah, it's really nice to have high-speed internet. Like it's like I'm so like, and I mean, it's so crazy just being thankful to have high-speed internet, like compared to other people. It's just like, but I mean, it's nice. So I'm so happy I have that now, where I can actually work from home. Like I used to do these live shows and my internet wouldn't work half the time, and I'd be like, have to drive in to like into Alpine, like into town where there's better internet in the middle of a show when I was doing it with our buddy reads. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like I can't keep doing this. But yeah. Okay, well, I've kept you on chatting for most of this. But a big thank you to Helen. Thank you so much for joining me and keeping with me with this. And thanks to everybody, even if you're watching, you didn't stay with the books, check them out later. You can always come back and watch these live shows later and kind of, see our thoughts on all the books. But we did it. We finished it. And now we'll just continue as she releases them. So anyways, thanks everybody. And hope you have
Amber for hosting. Thank you for hosting. It's been really good. And without you, I would not have read them all. So I'm glad we did it. So thank you.
Well, I'm so happy I had you with me. Okay, bye everybody.
See you later. Bye.